Hey, my name is Aren Dawson. This is my oral presentation on can the bed you sleep on affect your immune system? So, as people age, their immune systems can begin to degenerate and lose its effectiveness over time. This is due in part by, aging, but by the EMF signals given off by technology, pretty much most types of technology. So, this company designed an EMF insulated mattress which reduced EMF signals around the person sleeping. It was made and tested to see if sleeping on it would increase or improve the immune system of an aging person. We see this study as important because as we get older, most people tend to get sick easier due to the decrease in effectiveness of the immune system. And if we can do anything to help ourselves live just a little bit longer, we should probably do that. So in the setup for this experiment, the researchers originally had a total of 43 men and women split into three groups. Each group was around the same amount of people. Group 1 slept on actual Hogo system mattresses, which decreased EMF signals. Group 2 was a placebo group on mattresses that were visually identical. And Group 3 was a topper group, which was beds made of non-natural materials with the Hogo system still installed. Every volunteer had blood taken at the exact same time of day to prevent any variations before and after the 2 months of using the bed. Every volunteer was roughly the same age, they all had similar backgrounds, diets, social class, education, and lifestyles. The placebo group was our control group for the entire experiment. When coming up with a hypothesis, the researchers believed that the special mattresses that used the Hogo system would increase the effectiveness of the immune system, as well as testing the oxidative inflammatory state and rate of aging after the full 2 months. When the beds were sent to the volunteers, none of them knew which bed they got, but they knew that they could be given a placebo or the real deal, but visually they were the exact same, so they wouldn't know. After the 2 months, all volunteers had more blood taken for testing to examine the results. The majority of the testing came after the actual experiment, in which the researchers spent lots of time investigating how the beds affected different parts and functions of the immune system. And upon examination of the blood and immune system of the three groups, it was discovered that while gender had no effect on the experiment itself, the Hogo system did affect the immune system in a positive manner. The researchers saw an increase in immune functions, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory defenses, as well as surprisingly a decrease in the calculated biological age, meaning that these mattresses do actually decrease aging over time. The placebo group, though, saw no changes in their immune system or any of the other aforementioned aspects. So it could lead us to entirely believe that their conclusions are correct, and I have to agree with them completely. Okay, so this slide may look very complicated, but we see here TO was before the experiment and T2 represents after the experiment of the 2 months. Sleeping on the regular mattresses, we can see barely any. No decrease in aging really at all. But over here in the experimental group, while it is a much wider range and much higher up, we see down here, after the 2 months, the rate of aging has gone down quite a bit lower than any of the other groups. And this large set of data here is the different parts of the immune system and how they were affected. You can't really see this one. But we can see in a majority of the studies, the experimental group has shown an increase in pretty much every aspect of the immune system, which is just amazing to see after those 2 months. But no experiment is without limitations, and limitations can range from the time that you had to do the experiment, which was just 2 months. Maybe if they had done the experiment for longer, we could have seen more staggering results, or maybe even longer periods of time it's not as effective and it loses its effectiveness. And maybe finding so many volunteers who meet the very specific requirements they want them to meet of same background, age, just all of those things may have limited the number of people they could include in the testing. But in the end, we see that the Hoco Systems mattress does improve our immune system and aging. And that should really just convince people to get one of these mattresses so that as they age, their immune system will prosper, degenerate less, and when they're older, their body will thank them by staying healthier much longer and hopefully living much longer. This has been my presentation. I hope I have well informed everybody. Thank you. Bye.